Barton FM, following Barton Town. Sport on Barton FM is sponsored by Easy Buy.
Welcome to Swans Talk with me, Richard Watts. Start with Aaron Irwin talking to Nathan Jarman after Saturday's game.
So we've come away from Knaresborough with a 2-0 loss.
2-1.
2-1 loss, sorry.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about the game out, from our perspective?
From our perspective, I've just berated him in there, we were not good enough. And I said to start and concede after 53 seconds is a disgrace. And it's not like us to defend like that. And we're trying to, I can't remember what it was, I think Hotty's gone to do it and he might have bobbled up. But regardless, it's not good enough. There's a long ball over Scott's head, which you don't see coming, and then he's going back and the lad knocks it back across, and we're just not marking. We're not switched on 53 seconds into the game, and we're 1-0 down, and against Knaresborough, it's a tough place. They're a tough team to play against. They know what they're good at. They played a little bit of football today, and I quite like the way they're set up. They had 4 narrow big lads, and they were busy. They had the quick wide men and the striker who worked hard and got hold of it. So I've got no issues with them. I think we should have had a point with us scoring in the 92nd or 93rd minute or whatever it was. And the linesman, like I said, from the corner flag, wants to get involved and says there's a clear foul on the goalkeeper. And I just don't think there is. I think he's sulking because I've said to him he's missed the 2-foot tackle previously. So he's sulking and he wants to get involved. And I told him, I said to him, not in an aggressive way or anything, but I just said you weren't good enough, and you let the referee down, because the ref said to me he didn't see a foul. The ref's not seen a foul. The ref stood 5-6 yards away. He's not seen a foul, but he said, what can I do if my linesman's flagging? I said, look, I appreciate that. And he said, I went over to talk to him, and clear as day, the lino said to him there was 2 clear fouls on the goalkeeper. But do you know what? With hindsight, I've not seen it back. And if I might watch it and I might see someone absolutely shove the goalie, and then it's like, right, I'll come out and I'll have to apologise. But for the linesman to get involved from there, I find it disgraceful. He's not got involved all game. And when I said, I can't remember which one it was in the first half, I said to him about the foul. And he said, it's not mine to give, I'm not getting involved. I can't remember which one it was in the first half. But yeah, that's, it is what it is. That sounds like sour grapes. Because we've come away with a 2-1 defeat. The second goal, again, from the lads, he's rolled Kingy, and then he's done another drag back, and he's rolled someone else, and he's gone through, and he's ended up one-on-one and slotted it really nicely. But we look chalk and cheese from what we've been all season there, like defensively. Not good enough. Too many were off it today. I won't name names here, but there'll be changes on Saturday, because I just can't pull with that. It's not, for where we want to go and for what we want to do, we can't afford to be losing ground on Ferriby and Emley. With performances like that, you can't do it. You have to come away and I've said it to him about teams that I've been in when we've won leagues and we've won stuff. You have to be relentless, and you have to keep going and keep going and keep going. And unfortunately, it looked like we might have that mentality, and then today we've come a cropper. And we don't need wholesale changes. We don't need 5 in and 5 out. It's not like that. We just need to freshen it up, I think, and maybe give 1 or 2 a kick up the backside, and for them to know that they're not automatic starters, and they're just getting the team on what they did for me last season or what they've done previously at other teams. So as you can tell, I'm disappointed, and I am annoyed with the officiating, but I think we could have helped ourselves out today. We could have defended better. Them 2 goals could have been stopped easily. And then we'd have won. Another great free kick from Scott that's ended up in the far corner. That's 3 he's done of them. He's good at it. But yeah, other than that, I can't remember their keeper. They had one where the lad laid down. Ben's gone to shoot. He laid down before he's had a shot, and he's blocked it. Other than that, I can't remember us peppering him. We had a lot of the ball, and just not a lot of quality today. So that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, first half, particularly I thought we wanted the races.
Oh yeah,
we
massively.
didn't come out, and then second half was a bit better. I think we showed a bit more in the second half.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they were sitting back, weren't they, trying to defend, but
Yeah.
I'd like to think the second half was a bit better.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? I think the wind. It was windy, wasn't it, shooting down into that end, and like I said, we could have helped ourselves first half, and we didn't. We didn't play to our strengths, which is getting it wide to Wardby, both Wardbys, and getting it wide to Scott and to Taz. And we said they play really narrow, and they did. And we said that our wing backs are going to have to bomb on. We have to get Taz on the ball, and we have to get Scott on it. And I think we only had 2 crosses in the first half, and it's not like us. So I don't know what it was. I don't know whether I think we look at not me personally, honestly, I can't tell you how much I look at everything. But I think the lads might get complacent, look at the league table, see where we are, see where they are, and think, oh, well, it's easy today. It's not like that. It's like when you play Bottisford, or when you play Knaresborough, or when you play, I don't know who else is down there, Hallam. It's always a battle. It's always a scrap and a fight. Yorkshire Amateurs, for where they are in the league. It took us to the 93rd minute to break them down, and it's hard. It's a hard league, but that's why it makes the victory so much sweeter. And we'll just go again on Saturday against Penistone.
For the latest Barton Town news and information, visit the club's website at www.bartontownfc.co.uk.
I'm joined by Aaron Walton, and we're looking back at Knaresborough on Saturday. I think for the first time this season, a disappointing display, but I suppose you're always going to get one. And if you're getting 1 out of 12 games, it's not a bad ratio, really.
It's pretty good. I mean, even though it wasn't up to Barton's high standards, the game still could have been drawn 2-2.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but what do you do when you're off to such a poor start? I mean, your backs are against the wall straight away. 53 seconds.
Yeah.
And Knaresborough score. I think Nathan Hottie gave it away, didn't he? It looked like it bounced a bit funny. Gave it away. They got it down the wing, crossed. No, I think Scott Matthews had not picked the man up behind him. Across the goal, a tapping. Nobody picking the defender up. Nobody picking the guy up in the middle. So 1-0 straight away. And Knaresborough actually played a bit of football.
Yeah.
They looked tough. They look good. They look good. The lads on the wing.
So when you've got Greg Anderson organising the back line as well, it's always going to be difficult to break down.
Absolute colossus, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, you had. I like the wingers as well. Joe Navier and Brad Walker. They looked quite good, didn't they?
Yeah.
They look quite busy. And as we pointed out in the previous preview, Danny Edwards, the striker, what a lovely finish.
Yeah, it's great goal. That second goal is terrific.
Oh, I don't think the footage does it justice, because we were just behind the goal, and his little drag back and turn and a drop of the shoulder, it was really good.
Yeah.
It made the defenders look a bit silly, but they defended really well actually. So, but it was just a good finish. And then there was plenty of huff and puff, wasn't there? An endeavour, hard work, but not many chances. Possibly a penalty shout with Ben in the first half. I know I was chastised by the local plebeians at Knaresborough, but you've seen them given. You've seen them given.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they'd have been shouting for it if it was the other way around.
Yeah.
Ben had a chance, didn't he, first half, where he cut in, and again, it just looks like it run away from him a little bit. So he's got a shot off, but who was a keeper? Tom Brown, wasn't it? I remember Tom Brown's school days.
Yeah.
Tom Brown smothered, didn't he? He did a good save in the second half as well, which again, the camera doesn't do justice. It was a really good save off Will Wardby.
Yeah.
However, we'll come to the talking point. Well, there's 2 talking points really. It was the horror tackle on Nathan Hottie, which both me and you did say looked a good tackle, didn't we, Richard?
Yeah, we did from our position, which and it did look a good tackle from our position, but when you see it on the film, and you've got
Wow.
a clear view. It's an absolute. It's a straight red card without any question.
X-rated, studs
Oh,
up,
yeah.
nothing of the. Well, he got the ball, but he got Nathan Hottie. I mean, Nathan Hottie, he must have spun round. He spun round in the air, didn't he? It was up in the air, but he got up really quick, so probably shock. And the bench just was in uproar. They ran onto the pitch, quickly got back off it, and we was thinking, well, what are they getting so excited about? It was a real good tackle, but no,
Yeah.
terrible tackle. That's a leg breaker.
Yeah.
You know, that really is.
I mean, we were sort of like we were well looking behind it, aren't we? A long way off.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We was behind the goal, and it happened sort of on the halfway line, didn't it? Right in front of the dugouts.
Yeah, the referee's got a great view of it, hasn't he? He's not far away. He's looking straight at it.
Yeah, I mean, as a referee or an official, you can buy yourself a little bit of time. You can blow up and then have a think about it. You know, you just don't wave it, play on. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. But again, we've had a letter, we've had an email through from the NCL. Don't have a go at the officials, etc., etc. But they're not doing themselves any favours, are they?
No,
really not.
No.
So that was the first big talking point of the game. The second big talking point of the game was at the end. So it was a corner to Barton. Scott Matthews corner. He'd previously done yet another Scott Matthews free kick and got us back into the game at 2-1. Good free kick again. One of those free kicks that loops over into the box and runs away, and keepers can't do the sticker twist, they come out, they don't, but it was right in the bottom corner. That's probably out the 3 free kicks he's done and scored this season. I think that's probably the best one.
Yeah.
Obviously scored against Hemsworth, which was a really good free kick. Scored against Hallam, a really good free kick. But this one I think was the best because it was right in the bottom corner. But anyway, going back to it, it's a corner. Corner comes in. It's bundled in. Keeper, we didn't see him go on the floor, and we've looked at the footage since. Can't see a foul.
No, we can't. I mean, don't see the goalkeeper complaining about anything, but I suppose it was given so quickly. But the strange thing when you look, the linesman put his flag up as if it was offside. It wasn't like waving his flag like they normally do, seeing the foul. He just did it as if it was offside.
Yeah, but nobody was offside because they were all on the line.
Yeah.
So the only thing I can sort of see, if it's a foul on the keeper, is Henry Parr, as we discussed, 5'7", 5'8", 9, 10 stone wet through. The goalkeeper, probably 6'2", 6'3", 13, 14 stone. It's no competition. It's David and Goliath. Henry's not going to make much difference. He's not going to foul a keeper. So I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah,
if anything's touched the goalkeeper, it can only be his defender. I've had a look at it, and I can't see any contact.
Yeah, it's just one of those strange decisions which go against us. I think I said in commentary, every time we go to Knaresborough, does a linesman get involved? But it's Knaresborough and Garforth that get involved because Garforth's the same. They always seem to get involved with an offside or what have you. But hey ho, that's football. We win some, we lose some. The
funny thing is, I think it's the first time this season we've seen a linesman get involved in any decision but offside, ins or outs.
Absolutely, yeah. So
I mean, you do want to see him getting involved more, but
well, you do, but
if you're gonna get involved yourself, make sure you're absolutely 200% certain that you're right.
Yeah, and the referee could have overruled him, even because I think when Nathan Jarman was talking, he says, "Well, you know, I had a word with the referee, and the referee said, well, he's adamant, I can't overrule him." Well, you can. If you've seen nothing, you can say, "Well, I've seen nothing." So, but it could be sour grapes from us if we're going about it too much. We had an off day. It's as simple as that.
It was. Yeah.
So, however, midweek, did you see the Albion score?
Yes.
Against Ferriby.
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought they looked a good side, Albion, against us. Now I'm being a bit surprised that the results haven't been that good subsequently, but it sounded as if they were comfortable winners and they missed a penalty, didn't they?
They did, yeah. I think, I said to you that I like the look of Albion. I've always thought from the game they played us, I thought they ain't going to be struggling this season, and it's been a little bit of a slow burner. But I think that they're steadily coming up. I think they're about 6th now. So I think I'll say now, I'll put my head on the line. You know, I know nothing about football. I'm going to say Albion are going to be the dark horses. I think they're going to have a good season. Up with obviously Penistone, ourselves, Ferriby, Emily
are doing particularly well, aren't they?
Well, they're second, and they've got a game tomorrow night. They're playing, and it's going to be a very tough game. Another good footballing team, Hemsworth away. That'll be a good game.
Yeah. It would, yeah.
Hemsworth, we played really well to beat Hemsworth because they look a decent team. They just couldn't finish on the night where Barton could.
Yeah.
So that's, and then again, if we go on now, which is led nicely into Saturday's game for the Swans, we are playing Penistone Church.
Yeah.
So you've obviously been to Penistone before, Richard, haven't you? And it's a well-run pub, isn't it, in the foothills above Barnsley, managed by Stephen Lenthal, a good manager. Always speaks a lot of sense, and he's been in charge for a couple of seasons. Now, I'm going to give you one of my Aaron Walton's mindless facts, Richard. Here you go, and here's one for the listeners. The DSM Memorial Ground at Penistone is 730 feet above sea level.
Yeah.
So that's why you were cold when you went.
That's why my chest was bad. I need an oxygen mask for going up there.
I just couldn't say. Well, when we go again, we'll take an oxygen mask with us because it'll be a bit like going to La Paz in Bolivia, won't it?
Yeah.
Paying above sea level. So that's one of my mindless facts for the night.
Blimey.
Last season, both games were drawn, weren't they? We had 2-2 away, which is a really good game. I remember you and Phil Withers commentating on that one. It was another cold night, midweek game. And then 1-1 at home with the Penistone Late Show.
Oh, yes. Is that the very, very late show?
Yeah. I mean, I was on the PA at the time, announcing the teams. And I got absolute pelters on social media because I happened to say, and in the 96-minute stoppage time, Penistone get their equaliser. The tweets of, did you hear that nugget? And sour, sounds like sour grapes. And they were time wasting from the first half. And you think, I sometimes think, why do I say anything? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what happened was, Nathan Jarman said to the ref, how long you playing, ref? And he said 5 minutes. Now, I know one of the lads from Penistone got smacked in the nose, but then to add another 4 minutes on, it's a bit strange. So, but hey ho, we should have defended better. But when you've defended,
they're a good side, aren't they?
Incredibly good side.
I'll say they beat Eccles Hill in the cup during the week after being 2-0 down.
Yeah, and Brett Lovell scored, of course. He's just the evergreen Brett Lovell, and he's one to look for if he's playing. You've got Jordan Kajuri, he keeps slotting goals in. Nathan Keatley, the ex-Ossett man. Chris Smith, the keeper, he's always solid, isn't he, when he comes? He doesn't seem to make many mistakes. You've got Reese High, the busy attacker. So they're all sort of, they seem to have kept the nucleus of their team for the last 2 or 3 seasons and just added 1 or 2, and 1 or 2 have gone. So, and I remember it was Keatley who curled the ball into the top corner at the easy by to make it 1-1. So they are a good team, and it's going to be a really, really, I think, a tight game. I mean, Barton are going to obviously going to have a little bit of a reaction from Saturday because and they've got to have that saying from the Sheffield. Can you remember the Sheffield United manager? Who was it? Neil Warnock.
Neil Warnock, yeah.
You're going to die for 3 points. And that's what Barton have got to do. We're going to die for 3 points.
Yeah.
What we'll do is I'll give you the match stats, Richard. I know you like a good stat. So, as we said, it should be a tight game as Barton sit in third and Penistone fourth in the league. 1 point between them, same goal difference. So Barton Town's home form is played 5, won 1, drawn 3, lost 1. But Penistone's away form, this is a scary one. Played 6, won 5, lost 1. So that's a scary one. And scored 12 and let 5 in. Now Penistone's home form, that's what lets them down. They've lost 3. So it's one of those. In attack, Penistone are 5th best and Barton are 15th. I think it's just Barton's lack of scoring, bagfuls of goals, really. But if you're winning 2-1 or 1-0, we're not bothered, are we? You're winning.
It doesn't matter.
So, defence. This is another one. Barton obviously best defence. Penistone the 5th best defence. But this is the one. This is the one that makes it tight. Clean sheets. Barton the 1st, Penistone the 2nd.
Wow. So
7 clean sheets for Barton, 6 clean sheets for Penistone. So this is where I think it's going to be a tight one.
Yeah.
You watch, it'll be about 5 or 6-0, but so it should be a really, really tight game. 2 good footballing teams.
Yeah.
Two teams managed by good managers. I know the clubs run well at Penistone, like the Barton's club. I think they're very, very similar. Very similar in everything. Nice clubhouse there as well. So I think they just get a little few more people through the gate than Barton do. But I was going to go on and chat about the reserves, Richard. Do you know what the reserves had? Over 200 there on Tuesday night against Appleby Frodingham.
Well, that's terrific.
Ain't it? It's super. I mean, I got there early and I thought, oh, it's only going to be me and Dave the Cat here. That would be it. But they come through the gates to just over 200, about 205, I think. So Pete Mitchell, the secretary, was chuffed to bits. So, yeah, a local derby against Apfrod with the reserves. Well, what a game. They were absolutely awful in the first half. They were 4-0 down. I think they were 3-0 down after 15 minutes. Just couldn't get the offside trap to work.
Right.
So then they went 4-0 down. Then Barton got one before half time to make it 4-1. And then the second half, I don't know what Steph said to them, the manager at half time, but by heck, they must have had a rocket. They come out and it was just all attack. But Barton didn't need a keeper in the second half because I think Paddy only had about 2 or 3 things to do. And they scored right near the end to make it 4-4. What a great game it was. What a great game. For £3, you got 8 goals.
That's fantastic. I mean, come from 4-0 down is almost unheard of, isn't it?
It is. It is. I think Barton were playing all right in attack, the reserves, but they weren't that bad in defence. They just weren't seem to being able to play the offside trap, just not picking them up. They're just like looking at each other and scratching their heads. But yes, like you say, to come back to 4-4, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if we look at if we go back, so we've gone on to the league. If we go back, if we talk a little bit about how Barton they're doing, obviously 3rd at the moment, but Ferriby are top, aren't they? Now they lost against Albion on Wednesday night, so they've not gone any further in front. They're 6 points in front of us, aren't they? 3 points in front. 3 points in front of Emily. So that matches at the weekend and Friday night are going to be interesting. We've got Penistone at home. Ferriby have got Knaresborough Town at home. So I'm just wondering how Knaresborough will play at Ferriby. Will there be one of these teams that sort of just sits back, or will they curl up and die? And you just don't know, do you? You just don't know what they're going to do.
No.
I have a funny feeling that they'll get thumped. There'll be a reaction from Ferriby, and it'll be about 3 or 4-0.
Yeah.
Let's hope it isn't, but that's what I think it'll be. Ferriby's home form's 100%. Played 5, won 5. So and Emily's home has won 4, drawn 2, and lost none. So again, Emily's home form's good. Well, God forbid a Swans lost. So let's hope we need to get back into winning ways and really look to put pressure on Ferriby and Emily. So
Yeah, I mean Ferriby at home, you just cannot. They've got so many attacking options. You just cannot afford to sit back against them, or you're just in trouble. You've got to have a go at them, haven't you? Or you can't block them out.
I mean, last season I did go when Bart weren't playing and Ferriby had I think Wednesday night games. I did go see quite a few games in the Division 1, and most teams just sat back and were just happy to lose maybe 1 or 2-0. The only two teams that I saw attack them and go for it were Hall Road Rangers, who won 2-1. I think that was a New Year's game, and it was a good crowd there. They won 2-1. I think it was 2 goals or 1 goal from Chris Spinks. I know one was a lovely free kick. And then the other team, which were incredibly unlucky in the playoffs, were Harrogate Railway, 3-2 in the end to Ferriby. So incredibly unlucky because Harrogate really did go for it. So if you do go for them, they are, I'd say, slightly vulnerable. But it's the mindset, isn't it, of the players?
Yeah.
I mean, because that ground is the best ground in the league and probably the best ground in the league above us. It is a good ground, as you well know. I don't know whether players get a bit. I don't know. Oh, it's Ferriby. Oh, it's a great ground. You know, just don't know.
Ground and big and general. Normally the biggest crowd of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But then again, if Hallam get
Hallam get massive crowd, don't they?
Yeah, Ferriby get a slightly bigger. So it's like it's Ferriby, Hallam, and then Penistone, and then us and Golka. So you know, but they're sort of a good couple of hundred in front of us, aren't they? Really.
Yeah.
So it'd be lovely to get crowds of that at the Easy Buy, which we will if we keep producing that product of good football.
They're moving in that direction.
Definitely. Over the last 4 years, it's gone from Barton's crowds have gone from getting a good crowd now and again, but it is more again than now. It was regularly just over 100 or just under 100. Now we're not happy. We're a bit disappointed if it's 300, 350. You know, that type of thing. Especially with the reserves getting quite a few as well. The reserves getting 200 plus. That's really good. Yeah, everybody coming into the ground and paying for the food, it all goes back into the club. So it just makes the club stronger and better.
That's it for this edition of Swans Talk. Thanks for listening.